This is the one thing that's so important to understand if you want to experience the life that you desire. If you want to step into that positive mind so that you can see your way forward, you have to understand this concept. My name is Henry Lawrence. Welcome to the Positive Mindset Podcast. I'm so thankful to have each and every one of you here today because in this episode, we're going to talk about a perspective that if you apply, it will set you free and allow you to receive everything that you desire. Make sure to stay tuned to the very end because we're going to take a deep, healing, meditative breath to help us align on this message and move forward throughout the day. So what is it? What's the thing that's preventing you? How can you move forward into what you enjoy? Because you might be doing the work. You might be going to work and working as hard as you possibly can, but yet why aren't you getting promoted? Why aren't you getting the raise? You might be in your relationship trying each and everything to try to shift it to the next stage, to heal something, to get it in a better situation, whatever it is. You see, it's not about what you're putting into it. You have to understand that everything operates on frequency. The law of attraction says like attracts like. That means if you are different than something, you cannot truly experience it. Everything in your life right now, everything helps you maintain a certain balance, a certain frequency from the people that you're around, the thoughts that you think, the time that you wake up, the exercise, the movement, the food, all of it creates a tune of you. And what your frequency is tuned into is what you're able to perceive and receive. So if you're working hard and not getting the result that you want, that's the tune that you're in. That's literally the frequency that you're experiencing. And the more you push into it, the more you tune into the thing that you're already in. If you turn on the radio and you twist your dial to 100.1, you will hear and experience the station 101.1. You will not hear 95.3. You will also not hear 107.2. But all radio stations are playing something at once. You're just tuned into one that only allows you to perceive one. So how do you go to the other ones? How do you get there? You see, the law of attraction says like attracts like, so you don't have to necessarily go to the other frequency. You have to become the other frequency, and you will magnate towards it. So how do you become something different than you already are? You have to let go of what is not in that new frequency. You have to let go of the thoughts. You have to let go of the actions. You have to let go of the people, places, and things that do not belong in that frequency. You cannot carry them there. It is physically, energetically impossible to take it there. Otherwise, you would already be there. You see, if you have the vision of something, there's something in you that would align with that frequency. So you have to just remove everything so that there's nothing but that vision, but that calling, but that motivation, but that dream, but that desire. When you start taking away everything but that, you become that and then you experience that. That's how it works. The saying that your new life will cost you your old one, I truly never understood. When we hear that, we think, okay, well, if my new life's going to cost me an old one, it's going to be the things I don't like, the things I don't want. I don't want this problem with this person. I don't want this problem at work. I don't want this income. So my new life won't have those. My new life will let go of the things I don't like. Unfortunately, that's not how it works. Your new life doesn't consist of any frequency existing in your current life. That doesn't mean things can't go to your new life, but they have to move into that frequency as well, whether it's a person, place, or thing. The things that we hold on to, the comfort, the security, those things that we hold on to are what's keeping us where we're at. We're literally anchoring ourselves to a frequency that we don't wish to experience. That tunes us into living a life of not experiencing what we desire, but seeing it. Meaning, if you're at the job, you're going to see people get promoted into the job you desire. You're going to see people receive the income that you want to desire. In a relationship, you're going to see people in the relationship that you desire. You're going to see people experiencing the relationship that you desire because in your own internal being, you're seeing the thought of what you want to experience, but you're holding on to every action, everything that doesn't align with that. So in your external world, which is a reflection of your internal world, you're going to experience it. It's truly that simple. It's not easy, but it's not complex. Anything that does not align with your vision has to go. And that can be tough because there are some amazing things in your life. You might love the people that you work with. You might love your job. They might treat you amazingly. And so you want to hang on to it. You don't want to go to another job. You don't know what it's going to be like. You don't want to become an entrepreneur. You don't want to leave that even though you want to achieve this dream. You don't want to leave what's good for you. It could be a place. You love the town you live in. You love the ocean. You love the mountains. You love the desert. You love whatever it is, the city, the non-city, the wilderness, the mountains, whatever it is, you love it. But it may not align with what you're trying to create. Your new life will cost you your old one. When you can accept that and realize, okay, well, whatever is in my new life, I just have to put my vision, my energy, my perspective onto that, and that's what I'll receive. Your perception is literally your reception. As you perceive, you will receive. Meaning if you tune into that radio station, you're going to see that radio station and you're going to receive that radio station. You're not going to see or receive any other stations. You can't. It doesn't mean things don't happen to you in the world. It doesn't mean that the economy is not going to affect you. It doesn't mean any of that. It just means whatever situation you're in, you will see the version of what it is that you're tuned into. And so people go to extremes, right? They think, okay, well, I'm going to adopt this positive mindset then. I'm going to see all the good in the world. I'm going to see the love. I'm going to see the joy. But what happens if something crazy happens? Maybe I get arrested and I go to jail. How could I be prosperous in there? How could I do, what it is? Because people get wrongly committed. People go to jail and they didn't do a thing. What about that person? How does that person use this energy to receive their abundance? You see, when you think that it's a certain material thing that provides a certain frequency, that's when you're misled. It's always your internal state. Even in the darkest of dark corners, you can feel abundant. You can feel a love. It's always a reflection of your internal state. Maybe it's harder there. Maybe it's more difficult, but that means if you do it there, then the energy is even more powerful within you than someone else where it's prevalent. There is somebody that has what you think you need to feel abundant. They do not feel abundant. They still feel lack. You see, if you're in a situation where you're struggling financially and you really need to make more money to pay bills, to pay your house. I'm not even talking about for extras. You are barely making it week by week. If that's how you feel about your experience, even if it's true, and you look, well, if I just made $2,000 more a month, I would be better. Things would feel better. My relationship would be better. My life would be better. Yes, physically, that $2,000 a month would make a difference. But if you don't learn to have gratitude in your current situation, if you don't learn to have love and feel good and proud of your current situation, when you get to that next one, when you move into that next level of money, if you don't change those other things, it will feel the same. You will literally be making more money and feel more impoverished than you did before because you still feel the same lack, but you have more. That hurts. That's why there's people that can never have enough. They can have $1 million in the bank and they're so afraid of losing it because that's how they felt when they had zero. They didn't change their perspective, their energy within, and so they moved to a new scenario, but they were the same. Remember, your old life has to go. That means all beliefs that don't align with the vision. So don't just have a vision for the good that you want in the world. Have a vision of you experiencing it and feeling content with it no matter what the situation is, and you will be free. So what we're going to do is we're going to take a deep breath in. And when you breathe in, step into your abundance, whether it's abundance of love, joy, money, experience, travel, step into it. As you breathe in, envision yourself doing something so abundantly. As you hold your breath, expand that vision. Walk around the island you're traveling to. Drive that fancy car. Connect with it with so much love. Not because you have the thing, but because of who you are while you have it. And then once you exhale, allow anything that doesn't resonate with you to leave you. So let's go ahead and take a deep breath in. and out. Everything you've ever needed is in your heart, your mind, your soul. If you're being called to experience something different, shift your perspective to that only. Allow anything that doesn't connect with that, anything that doesn't belong there to go and become the rising tide that lifts all ships. Well, thank you so much for listening. I hope this episode was impactful and gave you a different perspective on everything that you're going through. If you want to make sure you don't miss a single episode, make sure you subscribe to my email list. There's a link down below. It will keep you up to date with every single episode. And if you want to follow me on social media, there's my Instagram and TikTok down below. I appreciate all the follows there. If you do follow me on Instagram, I did a post the other day talking about going deeper into the podcast, creating a way to where there can be like a 10-minute workbook with every single episode. So that way you can take the learnings, the perspective, everything that you gain from this and actually apply it. Actually do a study guide that allows you to use your mind and shift into it. I'm working on that now. It's probably not available when this episode first comes out, but it will be available down the road. So if you're listening to this live on October 25th, you can look in the description on Spotify. You might see a link for it, but most likely you won't. But as time goes on, if you're listening to this in November or December or years later, there should be a link to join a group. I'm not exactly sure how it's going to look. I'm not exactly sure all the things that are come with it, but it's going to be a chance to really tap into these messages and break it down, write it down for yourself, really just make the shift to do the work to become the version of yourself that you're trying to be. So pay attention to that. If you subscribe to my email address or my email list that's out there, I will send an update when that comes out. So if you want to do that, again, that is down in the description. Just click the description. You can see it. You can sign up and you will get up to date on every single episode. Thank you again for watching. Thank you again for tuning in. Thank you again for supporting. I appreciate it oh so much. Have a great day, and I can't wait to talk to you next time.